I got a prescription, yeah, for this love pain. Anybody got a pill I could pop for this love pain? Anybody got a prayer I could say for this love pain? Yeah, ooh, I need it for this love pain. Anybody got a prescription, yeah, for this love pain? Anybody got a pill I could pop for this love pain? Anybody got a prayer I say for this love pain? Yeah, ooh, I need
love pain. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. And here's the song. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Everything's gonna be all right. Yes, yes it is. Yes it is. Yes it is. And I hope you're having a fabulous day. And if this is your first time to the broadcast, I'm on StreamYard. So if you want me to see your comments, give StreamYard permission for me to see your comments, and I will try to answer them, but I'll just say hi. Okay. All right. So today is Tuesday, and it is already March the 30th, guys. March the 30th. It's this the first quarter of the year is almost gone. One more day. So yeah, it is an exciting time of year, especially for people in my business that, you know, you're pushing to the end of the year, right? You're just pushing, and you just want to get things done, right? So I want to talk about something that relates to that, and how to discipline yourself. Yeah. So I know there's a lot of us that grew up in households where if you did something wrong or something that you were taught that was wrong, you kind of got a little spanking to your butt, right? It was like, no, you don't do that, and no. And so back then, you know, spankings weren't unusual. That was like a household thing. Not only did your parents do it, but if you were someplace else and you got in trouble and somebody else had to spank you, guess what? You got another one when you got home. Yeah. So that was the life I grew up in. I don't know how you grew up, but that was the life I grew up in. But what it was a form of discipline. Basically, you're applying pain or something somebody doesn't want to happen to correct something that they did or didn't do, so to speak. But now, you know, in these days and times, spankings are taboo, you know, and that's in some cultures and households, but still a prevalent thing in some of the households and cultures that I know of. So, you know, people of my ethnic background, they still do spankings, okay? They're not abusing the child. They're just applying discipline. So this was a form of discipline used to tell you that you were doing something wrong, okay? Or that you should change your behavior. And it worked because typically if you got a spanking, you weren't doing that again because you didn't want to feel that pain again, right? So now it's more psychological pain that parents apply. They take things away from their children. They, you know, tell them they can't watch TV or they can't have friends over, or, you know, you go in that corner and sit. That timeout thing, I'm still not too clear on how that even works, but time out, go sit in the corner and don't come out until I tell you. You know, taking away privileges, grounding them, making it where they can't go out with their friends or go outside to play or whatever it is. But the concept is the same, right? It's still discipline. It's taking away something or applying some form of pain to correct a behavior. So you're introducing some kind of loss, right? They're losing something or there's pain involved. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm burpy this morning. But so the dictionary, and I'm just going to read you the definition. The dictionary defines it as the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. Okay, so how do you discipline yourself? You know, because not when we're grown-ups, there's not a lot of people out there to apply discipline to us. We pretty much have to do it to ourselves. So how do you do that? You know, how do you apply discipline to yourself? Now, I heard Bob Proctor say discipline is just making a decision. So you make a decision and you just do it. You're taking an activity or something that you're supposed to be doing, and you're doing it consistently, or there's a consequence to it. The discipline is that consequence. What is that pain point that you don't want to happen that will push you to keep doing that thing that you need to do? That's your discipline. And that's what you have to think of whenever you feel like, okay, I'm just going to quit because I'm blah, 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 blah. No, you have to start thinking of it as, okay, my discipline is I need to do this until I get it done, or what's going to be the pain point? What is that pain that's going to happen to you if you don't get it done? Okay, so that typically is called in this day and time your why. Why are you doing this in the first place? And do you want to give up on that? Probably not, right? So that would be your personal discipline. You're disciplining yourself. Do you take something away from yourself? Say you watch a lot of TV. Okay, you watch these shows religiously. You just always the best thing since sliced bread because you just love these shows, right? But your life is falling apart around you. You're struggling with your finances. You can't seem to have any energy. There's all kinds of things going wrong in your life, but you're steady watching these shows that you think are enhancing your life. But if you really step back and look at it, they're not doing anything for you. These people are not real. Well, they're real people, but these scenarios are not real, right? Because it's something somebody made up in their head. But if you think about it, these people that are in these movies, they're already successful. They are already living their life. But what's happening with yours? So your discipline could be, okay, I'm not going to watch another show until I correct at least one thing in my life. If you're overweight, and you're laying up and watching TV every day and you're continuously gaining weight, think about what the reward will be when you stop watching that TV and get outside and start walking, or you get up and do some exercises. And I'm not talking about just doing I'm just going to walk around the house for a minute. No, get out and really push yourself. And then more, if you do it consistently, if you do it over and over and over again, then it becomes a habit. Then instead of the TV being the habit, then your exercising will be a habit, and you'll find that you'll start feeling better and you start losing the weight and whatever. Okay. Then say now that you start losing weight and you started getting out of the TV so much, and maybe you might go back every once in a while and watch that show once a week. That's your reward. That's okay. I missed my show, so I just want to watch that once a week. And that once a week is only an hour instead of the 8 hours you were laying around watching TV before, right? So that's your discipline. That you're saying, I'm going to take this thing that I love away from myself until I accomplish this over here. So that's how you would discipline yourself. Do you tell yourself if you do the wrong thing, there's a price that you have to pay? You should probably do that, right? Because if there's no price to pay for doing the wrong thing, then you're just gonna keep doing the wrong thing. Because remember the example of when you were a kid and you did the wrong thing. You knew if you kept doing the wrong thing, your parents caught you, you were in trouble. Whatever way your parents punished you, you got punished one way or the other, but you were in trouble, right? So do that to yourself. It's just like they say when you're doing your business, are you doing it as a business or are you doing it as a hobby? Because if you're doing it as a business, hire yourself and tell yourself that I'm going to fire you. Basically, you're not going to get paid, and which is really true. You're not going to get paid if you don't get to work. So you're hiring yourself. You're the boss, but you have to be a firm boss. You just really have to say, no, you are not getting anything until you do what you're supposed to do. Set rules for yourself. Okay, and this is the planning phase, right? This is the planning phase for your day. You plan and you execute the plan. If you don't execute the plan, then what punishment are you giving yourself for not executing your plan? Typically, it's you're not getting anything done. You're not going to get paid. You're not going to be able to help anybody, especially if you're a person kind of like me or somebody else that likes to help people. How are you going to help anybody without helping yourself? That's not going to happen, right? So if you apply those rules to yourself and say, okay, these are the things I need to get done. And even if you have to write it down sometimes our brain kind of discards things. So even if you have to write it down, write down the task that you have to complete. And then on the other side, write down what's going to happen if I don't. What's going to happen? What is the worst thing that could possibly happen if I don't do these things? So this is how I've started to discipline myself. Like if I tend to procrastinate about some things, especially those things that I don't really want to do. But I had to stop that because I realized in procrastinating, I was just delaying the inevitable punishment of not reaching my goal faster. So if I procrastinated, then I was behind the 8 ball. And I had to keep telling myself that, even put little stickies up on my computer or on my door or whatever to tell myself, if you don't do this right now, this is what's going to happen. And so that's my discipline to myself. I'm not telling you to beat yourself up for mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. Mistakes happen. Everybody makes mistakes. But do you wallow in the mistake, or do you go back and you correct it? Do you say, you know what, I made a mistake. Let me see how I can do better next time. And I heard one of our leaders say, you can do 1% better every single day. And in 100 days, you'll be 100% better. Isn't that awesome? So I think it was Gary Cowan, but I love him because he just says it like it is, right? And if you find yourself, another thing, if you find yourself gossiping about other people, discipline, cut that out. Because what good is that doing you? How is that benefiting your life to gossip about other people? Their lives are what their lives are. And if you're gossiping about them, then typically, and I hate to tell you this, but typically the person that you're gossiping about, the thing that you don't like about somebody else, is probably one of those things that you don't like about yourself. And that's typically why we gossip about other people, or why we put other people down, is because we know that trait that we don't like about them is within us. Think about it. So gossiping And disciplining yourself not to do that and not to even participate in gossip is one of those things that can help you to move forward and identify what's in you that you need to change. Not worry about what everybody else is doing or what they're doing in their lives. That's their business. Your business is to discipline yourself to change the things in your life that you don't want to do, or those bad habits that you have that you want to change. If you are like I was, and I still tend to do that every once in a while, and you procrastinate, find the discipline, find what it is, what pain point would take you out of that procrastination, that will stop you from procrastinating. Find that thing that says, oh my God, if I keep procrastinating, this is going to happen. And I don't want that to happen. That pain point that you don't want to happen, you want to get rid of that bad habit in order to prevent that from happening. So discipline, it can be painful in one way or another. It can be. But the rewards at the end of changing all those bad habits and those things that you know are not doing you any good, that's not serving you or serving anybody else, the rewards can be magnificent. And so I encourage you to apply discipline to yourself. Find out what those pain points are that'll encourage you to change those bad habits that you have. And then when you find that you've done that, your life can change so much. You know, one of the things, and I was going to end right there, but one of the things I really strive towards is changing the bad habit of thinking negatively. You know, that's a bad habit. And so if you think about the discipline or the punishment for thinking negatively, is that negative things are going to happen in your life. Think about that. If you think negatively, negative things are going to happen in your life. So your discipline is, oh my God, I need to think in a more positive manner. I need to switch this around so that more positive things will happen instead of those negative things that keep happening in my life. And you have to look at it to see why are they happening? They're happening because that's the way you're thinking. So change that mindset. That would be your discipline. Stop looking at the world as if the world is out to get you. The world is not out to get you. You're out to get you because you're thinking negatively. Okay, so think about that. Apply your own discipline, and you will find that your life will change dramatically when you start applying discipline to yourself. So thank you guys. And my discipline, another one of my disciplines, is that I always talk about my business. One of my leaders is saying to us, always show the plan. And so if you've noticed, I don't know if you know me or you've seen my stories or my post or whatever, but if you've noticed that almost every day I post something about my business, because I always want to give people the opportunity to see it. It doesn't matter whether you like it or you don't like it. It's the opportunity to see it that I'm offering. And every evening at 7 p.m. Eastern time, I have a Zoom meeting. I'm going to post that again today. And just to let you know that, the meeting is available. If you want to come see it, I'm actually going to show this right now. This is the banner that you'll see. I do this every single night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. If nobody shows up, sometimes I have a team meeting. If my team shows up, and then we'll just convert it to a team meeting if no guests show up. But either way, I'm going to show this plan whether you're there or not, because I think it's a magnificent opportunity. I'm sharing with you. I don't beg anybody to do anything, because it's not about that. It's about sharing something that I think can potentially change your life and the life of your family, because I believe in it. You know, it may or may not be for you, and that's perfectly fine. But I just want to make sure that I keep showing it, and then I keep showing up. That's the thing. Showing the plan and showing up. So if you want to join me, the link is in the description of this video, and it says 7 p.m. Eastern tonight, and I would love to see you there, just so I can share this information with you. So guys, I'm gonna leave you for today, but until my next video, or actually for the rest of your life, I wish you peace, I wish you love, and I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.